So life is very, very, very challenging, shall we say, to get through, right? There are lots of complications along the path and the journey that we go on from wherever we are to get into the next chapter. Now, in order to deal with those curveballs and the challenges that life constantly throws at us, my personal belief is that we have to condition ourselves to make ourselves stronger mentally and emotionally and somewhat physically to deal with those challenges. It's kind of called conditioning. And the more conditioned that we can be to handle life, the less we can be affected by the curveballs that happen. And the less that we can be affected by the curveballs that happen, the happier, more content, more focus-minded I think that we can be within our life and our journey and the mission that we're on, the more that I think that we can achieve. So last year, I set about setting a challenge of doing a cold tub every single day for 366 days. And there's a couple of reasons I did this. Number one, I wanted to build up a discipline of doing something that I didn't really feel like I wanted to do every single day. So it built up this non-negotiable routine, this habit, this mindset where I was going to get in that cold water no matter what. There were some times when I got back from London from work at 9 o'clock at night and I had to get in there. Okay. There were some times when I didn't have the cold tub and I had to go and find a lake or a river. I remember going to Ireland one in March and having to drive 10, 15 minutes to a lake, do another 20-minute walk down to this fucking lake. There could have been crocodiles in there. It was to build up the discipline of doing it and being consistent with it. And that's the other thing. Number two was to build consistency of an action, of a non-negotiable, right? But number three was I wanted to do something that challenged me mentally, emotionally, and physically. And I have this big belief, and it stems from the military. It's train hard, fight easy in the military. That's what we used to always talk about. It was about our training being 10 times harder than it really needs to be, so that when it came to the fighting situation in Afghan or somewhere, wherever we had to go, we were best prepared for it. And it's almost over preparing for war. And in our life, and everyday life that's happening here, and what we did 366 days is to over prepare for the curveballs that happen in life, right? So if I can get in a 2-3 degree water cold tub at 4:15 in the morning, then man, I can handle shit that's coming in from the business side of things, from the personal side of things, from the curveballs that are happening. And that's the reason that I did that 366-day challenge, because I purposely almost put myself under that pressure. This year I signed up for a 50-miler because I want to put myself under pressure. I would, after that, do jiu-jitsu tournaments because it makes me feel sick doing jiu-jitsu tournaments. But I'm going to go there and I'm going to do it. All of these things, all of the hardship, purposeful hardship that we put ourselves under, they help us deal with everything else that's kind of going on around us. And I feel like getting up early, journaling, doing your morning accountability, doing your weekly planning, doing your mission building, doing your audits, doing like, these are all the things that we do within our movement, right? So if these are all the things that we focus on, these are all intentional hardships that make us better, make us more aware, make us stronger, make us calmer, make us more composed, make us more conditioned, so that when the curveballs hit, you're ready to press the green button because something's happened and you have to show up. You can show up as a leader, as a self-leader, as somebody that is emotionally, mentally, and physically intact with life, is above the curve, is ahead of the pace boat, is surfing a tsunami, and is on top of their game. For me, that is one of the biggest assets that you can have within your life that really takes it to the next level. And that's why you see so many people crumbling so quickly, because they're weak-minded in here. And it's not to put those people down, but if you did not do weights, or you didn't run, or you didn't train, you'd be weak physically, right? If you don't train the brain to deal with hardship, then life comes in and you just can't cope with it. It's weak-mindedness, okay? And that's what we're trying to do. This is how we build a strong mindset. It's intentional hardship.